A viewer from Laverne wants to know whether or not there's going to be any discussion about using the budget surplus for property tax relief.
There certainly will be discussion.
Right.
But as I said earlier in the program, is if these dollars are not reoccurring, then it's going to be more difficult to spend them on things like property tax relief.
And as the people, everyone's focusing on that first line of the budget forecast in November, the $1.5 billion surplus. But if you read down in that report and you get to the bottom, it's only about $380 million or $380,000 surplus, because if you add inflation into the spending,
$380 million.
$380 million.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the number in my head.
Give or take a few zeros.
But in the second year of the biennium, the next biennium over, which we always are always forecast into, and we always with the tails budget into, really, there's actually a structural deficit. So giving big tax cuts or big spending increases, which everybody seems to have seen $1.5 billion, and I've been telling everyone that comes to my office that it really ain't there.
Right.
And if you want to figure out a way to increase spending on the program you want to do, maybe you better figure out a way to cut spending elsewhere. And that doesn't sound much like a Democrat, but it's like, but that's the reality of it. We have to watch the budget. So I don't know about big tax increase or decreases. That's not
property taxes.
property
right.
taxes. Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I'm concerned for the balancing act because we are one of the highest tax states in the nation. And I've talked to customers that have moved to different states because of the tax situation, especially as they get a little older. Because the kids are moving around the country, they don't have to be here anymore, and they just have to figure out a way to be out of here for that magic 183 or 85 days and prove it. So as we look at the situation, and I don't disagree that the surplus isn't as big as what it seems relative to the whole thing. But I think we also have to be very, very cautious when we talk about taxes so that, first of all, we're not raising them, and secondly, that we're looking for ways to keep people here. Because I've always looked at things from a business perspective. You usually get 80% of your revenue or your income from 20% of your customer base. And if that indeed is true, and we start losing 10% of that 20%, which is only 2% of our people, you're going to lose far more than 2% of your revenue stream. And I think we have to talk about things like that when we do taxes, because, you know, if we structurally start to move people out of here, we have a problem too. So, and I'm not saying that we run a bad ship here and don't pay attention, but I struggle with the balance thing always.
Well, the related problem with that is the workforce shortage. Is we don't want people to leave the state because we need them. And you hear that in everybody who's coming in my office and needs to hire people, corrections, police officers. I serve on the Judiciary Committee. People who work in lawyers. We have a shortage of lawyers, if you believe it or not. We've never had a shortage of lawyers.
We have some counties in Minnesota that have at most a handful of lawyers, and I'm aware of at least one that had none and actually had to import a lawyer. So.
Right. So when you're looking at hiring, and in all fields, in construction,
maybe that's an asset, not a liability. I don't know.
And in IT, and in so many areas, we have a workforce shortage. So that goes back to education, that we have to make sure all our kids are well educated. We can't waste any of them. We all need them in the workforce. And that we do have to figure out more ways to attract people. I hear a lot about don't have people visit the state this week, but I do hear people say that once they come to Minnesota, if we can get them here, then they want to stay because we have such a rich culture that's here, because we do have beautiful lakes and amenities, and that we are such a friendly group of friendly people. Minnesota nice.
Well, and I'll just say on the lawyer thing, we were joking about it a little bit earlier, but I had the opportunity to encourage some young lawyers to spend some time in places other than the metropolitan area, and the usual experience is once there, they don't want to leave.
Yep.
So
same thing.
It's the same kind of thing that you're discussing.